Hey you guys, it's Lauren. Welcome back. So in today's video, we'll be comparing affordable makeup options versus high-end makeup. And I'm gonna let you know, when is it worth putting out the money for high-end makeup? I've always been a budget shopper. I've always loved finding dupes, but I do in some cases feel like putting out the money for these higher-end options are worth it, but honestly, maybe it's worth it 75% of the time. There are just way too many good affordable drugstore options out there. So in today's video, I'll be letting you know, is the high-end option worth it, or is it worth just picking up the drugstore option? Because in a lot of these cases, the drugstore option is even better than the high-end option. So we'll go ahead and get into it, but before we get started, I just want to apologize for my absence last week. Last week was a doozy. We spent one day in urgent care for my son. We thought he swallowed a battery. It was the scariest day ever. I wanted to share the story because just to make other moms not feel alone when these traumatic experiences happen, because in the moment you just feel like the worst mom ever, but this stuff happens. But anyway, so our playroom is kind of off to the side. Our kitchen is open to the den, and the playroom is kind of behind the couch in our den area. So from the kitchen and from the den, obviously, you can see the playroom. And my husband, he's in the living room / den area, kind of in front of the couch, but his back's toward them, and he's like on the ground picking up toys. I'm in the kitchen, but I can see kind of still half of the playroom, and I can see the baby. He's sitting on the floor with his back towards us. I look over, I see the remote in his one hand. I couldn't see his right hand at the time. And I look at the coffee table, I see the other remote, and then it just clicks in my head. I'm like, oh my gosh, he has the basement remote in his hand, which I know the basement remote does not have a back on it. I'm like, crap, batteries, oh my God. I run over to him. The other hand that I couldn't see was in his mouth with a AA battery sitting in his mouth. We're looking on the floor. We could not find the second AA battery. So we're panicking. We think he swallowed the second AA battery. I throw him in the car. My husband stayed back with the girls. Run him over to urgent care. Thank God they got an x-ray. No battery in his belly. Thank God. As I'm driving there, I'm second guessing myself. I'm like, you know what? A AA battery, that's almost impossible for an 11-month-old to swallow, but he is such a mild-mannered, chill baby that if something was wrong with him, you would never know because this kid is so chill. And a AA battery, maybe it did slide down so fast, and it was quick enough where he didn't have even time to choke, and he just swallowed it so perfectly. Your mind just goes everywhere. And I work in a pediatric hospital, so I see the worst of the worst, and batteries are the scariest thing ever. If you have young kids and if you have toys with those little button batteries, get rid of them, because the stories that have gone around the hospital of kids that have swallowed these batteries are terrifying. So yeah, of course I'm always thinking of the worst case scenario, but yeah, I just had to share. If you've ever been in that situation, you just feel so guilty and you're like, why was I not looking? But things happen so fast. But we learned our lesson. We are getting a new basement remote. We need it back to that remote, and we will not be having any stray batteries around the house, because oh my gosh, that was a little scary. The whole time I'm driving him too, of course he's looking at me, he's smiling, he's laughing, he is like the best kid ever. But yeah, I never had to worry about the girls putting stuff in their mouths. He just puts everything in his mouth, which is another reason why I thought it could have been a possibility that he swallowed this battery. But thank God he's totally fine. But anyway, motto of the story, sorry for my absence last week. Things just get crazy sometimes, but I'm back to it. The kids are still asleep upstairs. I woke up early. We went to bed super early last night. I am just rambling on and on this morning. You can tell I haven't like talked to adults in a while. So, all right, without further ado, I know I already said that, but really for real this time, we're gonna get started. So let's go ahead and get right into it. All right, so first let's talk about the It CC Cream, the new Nude Glow CC Cream versus the NYX Born to Glow. When I tried this out, I immediately thought of this foundation. I just felt like something was lacking from this. I am such a fan of the original CC creams. The smoothness they give, the full coverage application, the wear, they just wear so nicely on my dry skin. They keep my skin moisturized throughout the day. So I was really excited about the Nude Glow. The finish is really nice, but as it wears throughout the day, it kind of turns into like a shiny, oily appearance. So I'm not quite a fan of this. And I was also disappointed on the coverage. If you saw my review, they claim that this is medium coverage, but you do have to build it up to medium. It takes a few layers to get it up to medium, and the coverage just doesn't last. So yeah, I was disappointed by this. But the NYX Born to Glow in this situation, the NYX definitely beats out the It's CC cream. The Born to Glow gives this beautiful radiant appearance to the skin while still looking natural, and it never gets shiny throughout the day. It wears so well and it feels so lightweight on the skin. This is one of my favorite foundations, hands down. Oh my gosh, I have repurchased this so many times. It's so good. I wear the shade Natural. I'm wearing it today. I just feel like it gives such like a nice satin finish, but also a little bit of dew to it, just to make your skin look healthy and smooth, but the lightweight finish is what I love so much. So yeah, when comparing these glowier foundations, I just love the more natural radiance to this one over the more shiny appearance, and also the coverage too. This coverage is so much better. This claims to be medium, but you can build this up to full. You can still, you know what, you can still see my sunspot there, but you get some really great coverage from this, and it's so thin and comfortable on the skin. It really wears nicely. So yes, the NYX Born to Glow is where it's at. And then let's talk about Essence versus the new Caliray Come High or Hell Watermelon Mascara. I'm smiling when I say the name of that because it reminds me of one of my favorite springtime beers, Hell or High Watermelon by 21st Amendment. Oh my gosh, it's this light wheat beer that has like this back flavor of watermelon. It's so light and refreshing, but anyway, oh, my mouth is watering right now. But yeah, the name of it just caught my attention there, and everybody's been talking about this mascara, how great it is. It's a tubing mascara. It really lengthens the lashes, it separates, and it's really good, I have to say. The problem with this, it takes forever to wash off. Even with a cleansing oil, with a balm, with double cleansing, this will not come off my lashes. And my lashes, even today, I have, this is the Caliray mascara over here, and I have the Essence on the left eye, and I could not get nice separation today because I still felt like I had remnants of this mascara on my lashes. It will not come off. With that said, it's a great budge-proof mascara for your lower lashes. I think it's kind of ridiculous to buy, I mean, if you have the budget, great, go for it, but to buy a higher end mascara for just the lower lashes. But instead of wasting it, that's what I'll be using it for. My eyes are super watery, and this really does stick around. It separates, it gives that definition, and it lasts all day. Even obviously through trying to wash my face, it lasts, but it will not come off my face. I've heard some reviews that people have said this flakes. I did not experience any flaking, no smudging. It might be the best long wearing mascara I've tried, but the problem is it takes forever to get off, and I just don't have patience at night. I'm tired. I want to get in bed. I want to watch my Netflix. But I love the Essence Lash Princess Mascara. This is so great. It gives the definition, it gives the length, it gives the volume, everything you want in mascara. Doesn't have the best wear time. It's nowhere near close to this wear time, but I'll take the good with the bad. It will smudge as the day goes on, but not terribly. Sometimes I have to touch up throughout the day, but I'll take that. For $5, I'll take it. And I compared these two mascaras because the end result is pretty similar, and also the wands are what I love in a mascara wand. They're both long and skinny, and you can get them easily in the inner corner of your eye, especially if you have smaller hooded eyes like I do. I really like the wands, and I do like the result of the Caliray, but wow, it's impossible to get off your lashes. But the Essence is so good, and you cannot beat the price tag. So with these two mascaras, I would go for the Essence Lash Princess. All right, let's talk about a makeup tool. Speaking of Essence, this is also their makeup buffer brush. I got this at Ulta. It was $5. It gives the most smooth appearance with your foundation. It's so soft. It feels like a high-end brush. It's a great foundation brush. This reminds me a lot of my Merit, I think this is called their buffer brush. I'll link it down below, from Sephora. One of the most luxe brushes I have. It's so pleasant to use, but honestly, I get the same result from the Essence brush. They're both very similar, great for a cream product and a liquid product. The Merit is nice. It is more pleasant to use, I will say, but with the result being the same, I think go for the Essence brush. This is great, but if you want a high-end application experience, the Merit is great as well, but I just, again, $5 with Essence. Just can't beat their prices. All right, the Flower Beauty, this is the Shimmer and Shade eyeshadow palette. These eyeshadows are so creamy, so easily blendable. They are amazing. It's almost like a cream to powder formula. Flower Beauty shimmers are they're unmatchable. They are insane. so creamy. Look at that shine. They are beautiful. So this palette I think is well worth your money, but it reminds me a lot of the Naked Reloaded palette, and you guys know how much I love this palette. I use this all the time, mainly because I love, first of all, the base colors. They give you these two nice eyeshadow bases, and they have a nice range of browns in here. And I just like that you can mix up your look. It has some warmer tones, but also the cooler tones. Now, this was a tough call because the Flower Beauty is well worth your money, but I prefer the shimmers in the Flower Beauty over the Urban Decay because they're just more creamy. They have more of like an impactful finish, but I do feel like I get more looks out of the Urban Decay. You get more for your money here. You can do cool tone looks, you can do warm tone looks, and I like the range of neutrals down here. With this guy, you only get that one mid-tone brown. Where even are you? Yeah, this guy right here is a nice base to start your look, but I like to have more of a range in those lighter brown shades. The shimmers are unreal in this palette though. I do think it's worth the money, but I think you're getting more for your money with the Urban Decay Reloaded. I love that you get these large pans for your base shades. These are the shades I use most, so I appreciate that. There's a mirror in here, no brush with the Urban Decay, but you get a lot of shadow for your money, and the payoff is amazing. I love the blendability of the Urban Decay Naked palettes. They are just undeniable. I love these. So yeah, one of my favorite neutral palettes right here. I do feel like this is a case where it is worth putting out the money for the Naked palette. So while we're talking eyeshadows, let's move on to Makeup Revolution and Lawless Beauty. This is the first Lawless product I've tried. I did pick up some new products from brands I haven't tried before, which I'm still testing some out. Let me know if you guys would be interested in that video. I have a product from Tower 28 for that video. What else do I have for that video? Oh, the new Scarlett Johansson skincare line. Maybe I'll just put everything together and talk about brands I haven't tried before. And maybe I'll pick up a few more things too. Let me know if there's a brand out there that you're intrigued by and you'd like to see me review a product from. I'd be happy to. You don't have to tell me twice to go shopping. But I essentially picked up this palette for the purpose of testing for that video, but it reminded me so much of the Makeup Revolution palette. This is the Forever Dynamic palette. Again, surprise, surprise, both neutral palettes, and I felt like the color story was pretty similar. The Lawless has the dark black and that rust shade, but I still thought they were pretty similar, and you're getting 8 shadows. The size of the pans are pretty equivalent, but I have to say, I'm giving it away early here, but the Lawless Beauty palette is unbelievable. I was sleeping on these shadows. Oh my gosh, these are so buttery and soft, so easy to blend. The shimmers are amazing. They're just like the Flower Beauty, and the mattes are so pigmented. Oh my, they're just beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. I was so excited about this palette. Well, that was a crappy swatch job. That chocolate brown didn't look so hot, but once you blend it out, you can see how easily it blends. These are just unreal. I love that you get that dark black matte color and also the base, that eggshell color. It's just everything I need to create a neutral look, and I can also use this rust shade if I want to amp up the warmth in the look. And they just apply so effortlessly, so easily. I love this mid-tone brown right here. It's that perfect mid-tone brown, and I just love it for creating definition in the crease. It's just so good, and it blends so easily. I love it, love it, love this palette. Love that you're getting the mirror. You guys know I love a mirror in a palette. I feel like if I'm spending the money, especially for high-end, I want a mirror. Yeah, they just blend so effortlessly. They make creating a neutral eye look so easy. Just adding some more definition to that outer V. A little bit more shimmer. A little dab will do ya. So good. This palette is my new favorite. I love it. This is only I say only, it's still a pricey palette for 8 shadows. It's $25 compared to $10 for this Makeup Revolution. I do feel like this is a great palette. I love the packaging. Who doesn't love a leopard pattern these days? And these are nice shadows, but they're more on the drier side. And the dark mattes definitely don't blend as easily as the Lawless shades. So in this case, I think the high end beats out the lower, more affordable option. You cannot beat these mattes in this Lawless palette. This is so good. The one by Lawless. All right, since I was just using these eyeshadow brushes, I wanted to mention the BK Beauty and Hot and Flashy line versus the Jaclyn Hill and Morphe line. It's kind of funny because I just mentioned this itty bitty brush, this Morphe brush, in my last favorites video. Love this brush, especially for the outer corner. It's so unique in its shape. It's hard to find these tiny defined eyeshadow brushes, but a week or two later, BK Beauty sent me out this collection with Angie, and I am so excited. I cannot get enough of these brushes. First of all, Angie is one of my favorites on YouTube. She is what got me into looking at the ingredients in skincare and not falling for the marketing claims. And Lisa is one of the sweetest here on YouTube. I am so excited for her and her success with BK Beauty because well-deserved, kind-hearted, and also talented too. I've always enjoyed her makeup tips. Her brushes are just so good. So when I saw this collab, I was very excited. There are two standouts for me in this line, and that is the 504 and the 502. I cannot get enough of these. The 504 is most similar to this Morphe Jaclyn Hill brush, but the 504 is so much more soft. Let me do a zoom in so you guys can see. But you can see the Morphe brush doesn't have that defined tip to it, and the BK Beauty one is a little bit skinnier. So you just get more definition with the BK Beauty brush. I love using both of these brushes in conjunction, both the 502 and the 504. They are just amazing for an eyeshadow look. If you are on the more mature side, if you have hooded eyes, they just make creating an eye look so easy. So I'm so excited about these two brushes. I just didn't know what I was missing with this. This is more soft, more bendable, and it just allows for an effortless application, an effortless look even. It allows that just even application with eyeshadow. It's just so good. I will say, I don't think the whole line is worth picking up. There was a miss for me in the line. This angled brush, this 507, I found it difficult to find a specific use for this brush. It's almost too densely packed for a powder blush. I felt like I couldn't get an even application with a powder blush. And then also with a cream bronzer, I couldn't get the defined application you want with, especially if you're contouring with a cream product. Like it's too big for a creamy contour, and then it's too densely packed for a powder blush. So anyway, I just don't really have a use for this in my collection, but I feel like these eyeshadow brushes are well worth picking up. And then also this concealer brush, the perfect shape for concealer. Oh my gosh, this was a genius product by Angie and BK Beauty. I think Angie is the brainchild behind this brush. This is so good. It's the smaller version of their foundation brush. And I appreciate a brush now with concealer so much more than I ever had. I never found that concealer brush that I really enjoyed, but this just makes applying concealer so easy. So yeah, those three brushes are definitely worth it from the Angie BK Beauty line, and I think they far outweigh the quality of the Morphe brushes by Jaclyn Hill. I'm sorry, I feel bad that I just recommended this brush, but again, you can't get this individually, and the BK brushes now you can get these individually, and you can just tell the quality is better when it comes to the BK Beauty brush. So yeah, really excited about these, and I would definitely recommend especially the 502 and the 504. All right, and let's talk about the e.l.f. This is the bite size highlight, and I don't know what this is officially called, but this is in the shade Watermelon. It is a highlight and blush duo. I love these colors. It's like a peachy nude shade. I have the highlight and blush on today. The blush is very subtle, but it still has good color payoff. Not exactly a blush brush that I usually use, but just so you guys can see, you just get a nice little wash of color. If you're darker than I am, darker complected, I do not think that this shade would work for you. It's definitely very fair. And even for me in the summer, I think it's gonna be a little light for me, but the quality is what I wanted to mention here. I think these are just so great. They have a lot of fallout, but they blend in really easily, and I love that you're getting the highlight too. The highlight is the standout here. I love this color. Love it, love it, love it. It's subtle. It has a little pinky undertone. It has that lit from within look while not being too overdone. It's just a beautiful product. I love this. But I thought this color was so similar to the Cover FX. This is the monochromatic blush duo in this shade Soft Peach. Like, that is almost the exact same product. It has your highlight over here and then your blush. Of course, you get much bigger pan with the Cover FX, but the quality with the blush, I did not feel like was there. This blush, I never got like an even application. It's kind of dusty. It doesn't have a nice pickup when you're applying it with a brush, and it feels dry. Like, you don't get that creaminess. I like a blush to go on nice and seamless. It's too light to look patchy, but it's weird. It just never looked like a natural flush. Just so dry too. Like, I think this is a $35 blush. Yeah, no, I don't think this is worth the money. I definitely would say go for the e.l.f. product. The highlight is nicer, but it has very little payoff, which is fine. I don't mind a subtle blush, but again, the formula is on the drier side too. So if you're gonna put out the money, put out $3, and I think you would be so happy with these bite-sized blushes. So yeah, I would say go for the e.l.f. over the Cover FX. All right, next up, I have another NYX Born to Glow product. This is their concealer, the Radiant Concealer from this Born to Glow line. Right off the bat, this was a fail for me. I'll put it right out there. I was excited about this because you guys know, as I've already talked about, I love the foundation, but I felt like this was really creasy underneath the eyes. And it was somehow still radiant, but it would like kind of cake up, and it just I never got this to wear well. But it's still, the finish of it, when you swatch it, it reminded me so much of the Kosas concealer. I was hesitant about this because you guys know I did not get along with the foundation. I just didn't think that was worth the money. It is not texture forgiving whatsoever. There's no smoothing to that foundation at all. So I didn't think I would love this, but wow, is it amazing. It becomes one with your under eye, and you can pat it out throughout the day, which I like. I don't like a concealer that sets matte. This sets to a nice dewy satin finish, and it really is, they call it a concealer and eye cream in one. I wouldn't go that far because it's not that moisturizing, but the fact that it doesn't cake up underneath my eyes and that it doesn't accentuate my dry under eye, I'm a fan. This is so great for spot concealing for underneath the eyes. It's amazing. So with these two, when comparing these two, I would definitely say the Kosas is worth putting out the money for. With drugstore concealers, let me know your favorite down below. I've yet to find a really creamy drugstore concealer that I love. I used to love the Catrice concealer, but you can never not. I used to love the Catrice concealer, but you can no longer buy Catrice at Ulta, which I am so bummed about. So I'm always, I don't know, I will backtrack a little bit when I talk about Catrice because it's not as accessible anymore. But yeah, I haven't found a drugstore concealer that I love, but this Kosas is where it's at. It is definitely worth the money. It is that good. So thank you guys for recommending this to me. It is well worth it. It's just so creamy underneath the eyes. It will crease, I will say, but honestly, if you have creases underneath your eyes, it's hard to find a concealer that is completely creaseless. Is there such thing? I don't know. I'm still looking. Let me know if you found one. But the fact that this does not accentuate lines, bonus points for me right there. It is so creamy and hydrating. So yeah, loving this concealer, and I think it beats out the NYX Born to Glow. All right, and last but not least, let's talk about the Olaplex No. 6 Bond Smoother and the Function of Beauty Wavy Hair Treatment. So you guys know I'm such a fan of the No. 6. This is my go-to leave-in product, and I am so excited that they changed the packaging. You now can get a pump with this product. Love this formula. It calms my hair, it smooths my hair, it detangles my hair. You can apply it wet, you can apply it dry, and it gives your hair that like silky appearance. It like the reparative effects are insane with this. You get that patented Olaplex ingredient in this, so I feel like it's actually doing something for my hair. It's one of the best hair products out there. I will continue to repurchase this. I got this in a Sephora sale, and I'm so excited to have it back in my hands, and I'm excited that they redid the packaging. Now, I compared this to another favorite, my Function of Beauty Wavy Hair Leave-In Treatment. They did send this out to me. This has really great ingredients in here. There's a couple different oils in here. There's argan seed oil. Really nice and silky on the hair, but I feel like it doesn't have the reparative effects of the Olaplex. Like, this is somehow heavy, but it doesn't weigh the hair down. This is a little bit lighter. I feel like if you have maybe not as coarse of hair that as I do, if your hair is more on the normal side, if you have silkier strands, this is really nice. It is marketed for wavy hair, but I just don't feel like it has the moisture impact that the Olaplex does. So these are very similar in the fact that they're both leave-in treatments, both blow-dry creams that I really love, but I will say I do like the Olaplex a lot more. You cannot beat the Olaplex products. I definitely think there's more that are worth the money. The No. 6 is by far my favorite product. The Function of Beauty, it's a good product, it really is, but if you have thicker, coarser hair, go for the Olaplex. I know a lot of people with thinner hair do say that this is too heavy, so maybe it depends on your hair type, but for me, I just love the Olaplex. I cannot get enough. So that does it here for me today. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. This was really fun. Kind of a little spin on a dupe video. I like comparing high-end versus low-end. Sometimes, again, the high-end does beat out the lower end. I don't mind putting out the money if it actually works, but if there's something better, if there's a better drugstore option, I am just all about that drugstore price tag. I mean, who isn't, right? I mean, nobody wants to just put out money just to put out money. But all right, that does it for me here today. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know down below some of your favorite products recently. Let me know about any brands that I haven't reviewed on my channel yet that you'd be excited to hear about. I have Tower 28 on my list. I was thinking of Jones Road Beauty, kind of on the fence there. The balm looked intriguing. I wanted to compare it to the Wayne Goss balm, but all the Wayne Goss shades are already out of stock. His makeup just goes out of stock so fast, I guess because he's so popular. But maybe I'll do a video where I just compare those two products. But yeah, let me know if there's any other brands that you'd love to hear me review. I would be happy to do it. But alright guys, that does it for me today, and alright guys, thank you for watching, thanks for being here, and I will see you guys in my next video.